Hello everybody, welcome to the table. Today we're checking out a knife from a company called KTACTICAL. So I will say first thing in this video, KTACTICAL did send this knife in for the purposes of making a video, but they're not going to review this video before I upload it, so this knife will have to weigh in on its own merits. But let's check out what they sent in. So this knife right here is called the Yandere, at least I think I'm saying that correctly. But what we have here is a pretty decent sized tactical style folder. And so we have some interesting materials here. We have aluminum handles, carbon fiber inlay. We have kind of an anime theme to it, because if you're familiar with the KTACTICAL brand, they tend to do a lot of like firearm accessories, like AR-15 accessories, all with kind of that anime flair to it. So like we can see the character on the box right here. So it's kind of one of those things that it's either something you're interested in or something you're not, but they do some knives as well. And so I've reviewed some of their knives in the past, and now I'm making this video with my first impressions on the Yandere right here. And so let me explain what we got. It actually feels really solid in hand. So full aluminum handles, carbon fiber inlay, the frame itself, we have full steel liners here, great jimping here on the back of the handle right here on the grip, as well as it continues onto the spine of the blade. The blade itself of this knife is actually a really cool shape. Check out the shape of it. It's kind of like a modified Warncliffe. Has kind of this downswept area, nice bit of belly right here, and then a bit of serrations on this section down near the bottom. The actual spine of the blade is rounded, so that's kind of cool as well. And we can see the blade itself has kind of a unique feature right here. I guess you could use this as a bottle opener, but part of its purpose we'll see in just a few minutes. So action runs on bearings. This is a flipper. So being on the bearings, it is very smooth. So we can see the knife opens and closes without really any problem. We are running a liner lock right in there. So I know it's kind of dark, but you can see the lockup right there. Feels nice and solid, so no issues with that. Centering as well, looks pretty darn good, so no issues with centering right out of the box. We do have a nice deep carry pocket clip on the knife, and it is reversible, so we can do it tip up, right hand or left hand side carry. It does have some Japanese writing on the clip right there, so let's go ahead and figure out what that says. I'm going to pull out my translator. There we go, I don't know if you can see that. So yeah, just the name of the knife, the Yandere, Y-A-N-D-E-R-E, is what's spelled in the Japanese lettering there on the pocket clip. So that's kind of cool. What's also really nice about the clip, you can see how much clearance we have in there. So if you have really thick pockets, you're not going to have any trouble getting this in or out of your pants. And what's nice too is this smooth carbon fiber section is where the pocket clip rests. So again, it's nice and easy in and out of pocket. A lot of these clips can tend to get really tight, but this one has not had that issue. I do like the red washers that are around the pivots here. It adds kind of like a nice little color pop to it. So those look pretty good as well. We also have a lanyard hole here in the back for those of you who like to attach lanyards to your knives for secondary safety options. That's totally a thing here. But again, the action on this knife is pretty darn good. So let's go ahead and do some sizes here. Let's measure it out. So blade length on this knife is going to come in, let me just measure from there, a little short of 3.5 inches in terms of your cutting edge. And overall length is going to be coming in just a little bit shy of 8 inches, so we can say maybe 7.9 inches long. And our blade steel that we are running on this knife, this is going to be a 7CR, it says on the box right here, 7CR17 blade steel. And so again, nothing to write home about necessarily. It's not going to be a super steel, but very much a working steel. I believe Gerber uses 7CR on some of their models as well. So it is what it is. So overall in hand, again, feels very solid. I'm kind of curious, I want to check out the weight. It says on the box right here, 4.1 ounces. Let's go ahead and weigh it on my scale right here. I'm getting 4.46, so a little bit overweight, you know. So, but that being said, this is a solid aluminum and steel handled knife, so the weight doesn't really surprise me, but it's really not overly heavy. But one unique feature of this knife, and this is kind of what I think there's to write home about with this knife, what's really cool, and you're either going to like it or you're not, but you'll notice on either side of the blade we have the anime characters printed on. They're like lasered onto the blade right here. I know the glare makes it hard to see. In person, it's really easy to see. But we can see there's a character smiling face on this side, and it's different on this side right here. And so what their idea is we have this little notch in the blade that can, I mean, of course it could be used as a bottle opener, I imagine. But really what they were going for here is if you buy not one, but two of these blades. So we can set these blades side by side, kind of like this. And you can see the two characters. Hopefully that shows up on camera. The two characters there are kind of like holding their hands together, and it makes a heart shape. So kind of sappy, kind of silly, but it's also pretty cool. So you can get some usage out of having the different characters on either side of the blade. So what I think would be kind of cool, like, is if KTACTICAL went ahead and made like some kind of maybe like a 3D printed mount, so you could like mount your knife in this position and keep it on display like this, because it's really cool. Because I have seen pocket knives before with these little notches on the blade like this. So it's not a unique thing, but this is the very first time I've seen it used in like an actual decorative manner, you know, in a way that looks kind of cool for display purposes. So I think that's pretty neat, to be perfectly honest with you. And admittedly, you do have to buy two of the knives to get the full effect, but if you decide to do that, I think it would be pretty cool for a display piece, for a display option. You know, and that being said too, I mean, the knife itself is actually really functional, very nice in hand, so there's really nothing wrong. If you want to use, abuse, and carry this knife, that absolutely is going to be an option for you. So I think it's a pretty cool design overall, but it does have that kind of unique flair to it, those unique options with the display capability. So pretty cool overall. Let's do some size comparisons with some other knives on the table. So I'll set one of these aside. Let's check out our Yandere right here, and I'm going to put it next to this right here is a Benchmade mini Griptilian. So it's going to come in a little smaller in terms of overall length. But we also have a Benchmade Bug Out. So I'm just trying to think of some common size knives out there, give you an idea of what you are going to be working with here. And so the Yandere being a, you know, pretty much what I would call a full-size everyday carry knife, it's a little larger than both of these blades. But, you know, it is what it is, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. So we'll take a closer look at the specs right here. Like I said, our weight came in a little over 4.1 ounces, 4.5 inches folded length, 7.9 inches open length, 7CR17 MOV steel, that ambidextrous belt clip, flipper with ceramic ball bearings, and the grips are aluminum, full solid aluminum with those real carbon fiber inserts. And this is our box that it came with right here. So interesting design. I like this knife quite a bit. Very happy they were able to send it out. If I could find any flaws with it, I would have to say, let me see. The liner locks are a little thin, so if you're going to hard use this knife, you might get some excessive wear on the liner locks. But beyond that, I think it's actually pretty solid. I really do like the serrations right here that are near the body of the knife, because that is where you're going to be wanting to use those the most. And then you get this nice bit of belly on the that Wharncliffe section, that modified Wharncliffe blade. Pretty nice overall, in my opinion. So if you have any questions about the Yandere, please drop a comment below. Is the anime thing one of your things you enjoy collecting, or is it more of a gimmick? You tell me what you think in the comments below. I would love to hear from you, and I hope you all have a knife day. See you later. Okay, so we have to talk swag. So I admit KTACTICAL sent out this package to me for free, so you may or may not get these things if you purchase from them, but I love it when companies send swag. And so they sent me a whole bunch of cool stuff. They sent me stickers with the characters on them. So again, if you're a fan of the anime theming, you can see several different characters that they send. Business cards, of course, also very well done, very well made. And of course, like I was saying, their bread and butter are like firearms accessories, AR-15 accessories. So we get kind of the tactical anime girl theme thing. And but honestly, kind of the coolest thing they sent out, this thing right here, believe it or not, check this thing out. It's like a plastic stand, and it has this character on it. And it's cool because it's like a Lexan, like a clear plastic, and you flip it around and you see the backside of the character and all the accessories. front side. If you're a fan of the brand, this is something that would be super cool to keep, like, you know, on your desk or whatnot. And I appreciate them sending me all this really cool stuff. So KTACTICAL, follow them on social media. I will drop their information in the description below, so you can follow them, see if any of their other knives are up your alley. Their other knives were actually pretty good as well. I did videos on them probably more than a year ago at this point, but they are out there. So feel free to check out KTACTICAL, and a big thank you to them for sending content to the channel. I really do appreciate that. Thank you for making a risk and sending your stuff to a small channel, KTACTICAL. I appreciate you, and I hope you guys too have a knife day. See you later.
New card. What do you think?
Whoa, very nice. Look at that.
It's very cool, Bateman, but that's nothing. Look at this.
That is really nice.
Mark.